everyone, it's Alexis with Project Management Made Simple. In this video, I'm going to compare the product owner role with the project manager role. So just taking a look at the names of these roles, in one role we see product, in the other role we see project. And so from that perspective alone, we can see that there are a bit of differences between the roles. But surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, depending on how much you have interacted with these two roles, there is also quite a bit of overlap. So when we think of the product owner, we think of products. We think of products that don't necessarily have an end date. Maybe they end once budget or financing ends, or they could end once users no longer use the product. But essentially, product owners are seeking to build products that will last a lifetime. And so what comes with that is going to be a roadmap that essentially is a schedule, a very high level schedule of the features that the product owner is seeking to have the development team build. They are focused on the vision and they're focused on the strategy. Project managers, on the other hand, tend to be more tactical in nature. Project managers do not have a roadmap per se. Instead, project managers have a schedule. And with that schedule, it's driven from conversations with stakeholders to get a good understanding of the type of work that is in scope to be completed as a part of the project. Projects do have a finite start and end date. Now, as we know in the real world, things can change, and if things change, maybe these dates may fluctuate a bit, but ultimately there is a defined start and end date for the particular projects that are being worked on. Product owners are expected to know their product inside and out. So in my current environment, I am a Scrum Master and Project Manager, and with that, I work with a product owner who works on our Salesforce platform. And so essentially, he builds out the features, or he doesn't build out the feature, but he determines the features that are to be built out by our development team. And so with that, it is paramount that he has a really good understanding of what the Salesforce platform entails. And so this means having a good understanding of what are the out-of-the-box features and what are those features that will need to be custom implemented for the users that he's working with. As a project manager, I don't need to necessarily know the ins and outs of the Salesforce platform. That's the role of the product owner. And so as a project manager, I'll also need to have a good understanding of the software development lifecycle, which speaks to how we go from requirements gathering ultimately to moving those features into production for our users to access and to use. So there's quite a bit of overlap of what it means to be a product owner, what it means to be a project manager. But at a high level, if you can think of it as product owners are focused on the what, and project managers are focused on the tactical details of how we achieve that what. And in the real world, we can see product owners who take on a lot of the responsibility of project managers. If we're looking at this from a Scrum perspective, the product owner role comes into play when we think of being an Agile Scrum framework. And so as a result of that, we do not see a role for the project manager. And that's because the project manager responsibilities are now distributed amongst the product owner, the development team, and the Scrum Master. I have another video dedicated to detailing the differences between the Scrum Master and Project Manager, and I will have that linked below. But keep in mind here, even as I distinguish the differences between these two roles, it can be very likely that there's quite a bit of overlap, and a lot of this will depend on the organization, and a lot of this can also depend on the nature of the teams that you're working with. If your teams tend to be quite large and they have a lot of dependencies across one another, you may see the need for a project manager, or you may see the need for a team restructure. So there's not necessarily a one-size-fits all for an organization, but it's definitely something that needs to be called out and considered, that there will be overlap between the product owner and the project manager role that will require leadership to work with these two roles to have a good understanding of the differences between the two and those differing expectations that are going to be set forth for the different roles. This is a video comparing the responsibilities between the product owner and the project manager. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please do give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to you all in my next video.